The story is titled, At My Sister's Baby Shower, My Mom Joked I Was the Family Failure. So I played the group chat audio on the speaker. Dead silence. By the time I made it out to my car after the baby shower, I still had frosting on my wrist and my mom's voice echoing in my head. Well, not everyone can be a success story, right? Some kids take a different path. Everyone laughed. I did not. I just sat there gripping the steering wheel, staring at this stupid pink balloon tied to my side mirror, thinking, of course she did this. Of course she waited until I couldn't walk away without ruining my sister's perfect day. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm Lauren Carter, 31 years old, female. Oldest daughter, designated disappointment, professional. Well, at least Emily turned out okay. Example. My sister is Emily Carter Wilson, 27 years old, female. She's the pregnant one. Kindergarten teacher, Pinterest nursery. Married to Michael Wilson, 29 years old, male, who wears polos and calls my mom ma'am. My mom adores him like he descended from heaven holding a 401k. My mom is Diane Carter, 58 years old, female. If you could bottle passive aggression and spray it like perfume, that's her. She's the kind of woman who will say, I'm just being honest, right after stabbing you with a smile. My dad, Tom Carter, 60 years old, male, is a human beige flag. He just blinks, nods, and refills Diane's wine. Growing up, our house was basically a shrine to Emily. Her cheer trophies on the mantle, her prom picture blown up and framed in the living room. My college diploma, the one I busted my ass for in graphic design while working 2 jobs, it's in the hallway, slightly crooked, behind a fake plant. Once, when I tried to straighten it, my mom literally moved the plant back in front of it. Not everything needs to be on display, Lauren, she said. You know how sensitive Emily is. Sensitive, right. I went freelance at 26, doing branding and illustration. Not rich, but I pay my bills, have cool clients, and actually like my life. My mom translates that as, she does little drawings on the internet and can't hold a real job. She doesn't say that to my face, of course. She says it in the Carter family group chat. That stupid chat has been the soundtrack of my adult life. Emily got another promotion. Look at Connor's soccer trophy. And sprinkled in between, screenshots of my Instagram with messages like, does Lauren own an iron? Or, she's almost 32, this is just sad now. They thought I didn't know about the other chat, though, the one without me. They were wrong. And that's where the audio came from. The way I found out about the other group chat was so stupid it almost felt scripted. We have a normal Carter family chat. Me, my parents, Emily, and now Michael. It's mostly baby bump pics and my mom sending inspirational quotes about hard work that are really just subtweets at me. I muted a lot. About 2 months before the shower, Michael texted me separately like, hey Lauren, can you help with the invitations? You're the artsy one. Which was the first time anyone in my family had said that like it was a good thing, so yeah. I said yes. He goes, cool, I'll add you to the planning chat. A second later, I get added to a group called Carter Clan, Real Talk, and my stomach immediately drops. Because you don't put real talk on something unless you've been fake as hell somewhere else. Right away, I see the history. My mom. Please don't put Lauren in charge of anything important. She never follows through. Emily. I just don't want drama. You know how she gets? My mom again. She's almost 32. This artsy lifestyle is cute for college, not for someone about to be an aunt. And then I see the voice messages. Dozens of them. Little orange bars with my name sprinkled all around them like confetti. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I clicked the first one with my thumb shaking. My mom's voice loud and clear. I am not having Lauren show up looking like a mess in front of Michael's family. She's the only one who didn't settle down. It's embarrassing. I swear, sometimes I think we failed with her. Failed. With her. Like I was a science project that exploded in her face. Another one. If she starts talking about her clients again, I might scream. What clients? People on Instagram? At least Emily and Michael have real jobs. I just sat on my couch and listened to my family pick me apart in my mom's kitchen, in their car, wherever they were when they felt safe enough to say what they actually thought. The worst part? Emily didn't defend me. Not once. She just went along. Soft little digs, jokes about me being the cool aunt who never grew up. I didn't cry right away. I kind of laughed, this ugly, shocked laugh. Then I went back and downloaded every single audio message and saved them to a hidden folder on my phone labeled tax stuff because I knew no one in my life would ever voluntarily open that. I told myself I was just keeping receipts, just in case. Fast forward to the week of the baby shower. I'd designed the invitations, hand-lettered little place cards, even made a custom Welcome Baby Wilson sign. Emily loved so much she cried. My mom took one look at it and said, "It's a little loud, but I guess that's your style." By the time the shower started, pink streamers, diaper cake, tiny plastic rattles everywhere, I'd convinced myself I wouldn't start anything. This was Emily's day. I could swallow it. What I did do, though, was drop my tiny portable speaker into my tote bag and make sure my phone's Bluetooth was paired. I honestly believed I wouldn't use it. Then my mom tapped her plastic wine glass for attention, smiled at the room full of people, and opened her mouth. Update 1. Okay, so, hi again. I honestly thought like 10 people would read this and move on. Instead, my phone's been vibrating nonstop, and some of you are out here offering to help me fake my own death. A lot of you asked, what exactly did your mom say in the toast? And why do you still see these people? Fair questions. So back to that moment. My mom taps her plastic wine glass with a fork, ding, 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 and the room goes quiet. We're in Emily's friend's backyard, under this cute white tent with balloon arches and a mama-to-be chair. I'm standing near the gift table holding a paper plate of pasta salad I'm not eating, already on edge. My mom starts with, "I just want to say how proud I am of Emily and Michael." She talks about how responsible they are, how they did everything the right way. College, marriage, house, baby, the American dream. Everyone's nodding like bobbleheads. Then she says, "You know, when you're a mom, you just pray at least one of your kids will make good choices." The back of my neck goes hot. She keeps going. "Emily has always been our steady one, and Lauren..." She looks right at me, pauses for laughs. "Well, not everyone can be a success story, right? Some kids take a different path." She actually does the little shrug, the one she does when the waiter messes up her order. The whole tent does that weird, embarrassed chuckle people do when they know a joke went too far but don't want to pick sides. Someone near the back actually snorts. I hear my own laugh come out, high and thin and not real. Then she lands it. "We like to say Emily is our responsible girl, and Lauren is our free spirit." She leans toward Michael's mom like she's sharing a fun secret. "Every family has one, you know? The experiment." Experiment. I squeeze my paper plate so hard it folds in half, and a meatball rolls onto the grass. My heart is pounding, my ears are buzzing, and all I can think is, you said this about me in the chat when you thought I'd never hear it. And now you're doing it to my face. I catch Emily's eyes. She looks uncomfortable, but she doesn't say anything. Just presses her hand over her belly like she's shielding the baby from the awkwardness. Some of you said in the comments that I should have called her out right then. I didn't. I froze. Years of swallowing it all at holidays and birthdays kicked in. But here's the thing. I hadn't brought that speaker for nothing. While my mom kept talking, I slid my hand into my tote, felt the smooth plastic of the speaker, and opened my phone. If she wanted the real talk version of our family, I was about to give it to her. So while my mom is mid-Hallmark monologue, I'm standing there with my phone in my hand, fingers sweating so much I'm scared the screen won't even register my touch. I swipe to Bluetooth. There it is. JBL Lauren. Connected. My little speaker in my tote bag does that soft bloop noise. No one hears it over my mom gushing about Emily's perfect little family. My heart is hammering. Part of me is screaming, "Don't do it. Don't you dare make this about you on her day." And another part of me, this tired, bruised part that's been swallowing this crap for 31 years, just goes, "She made it about you the second she called you a failure in front of 50 people." My mom finally lifts her plastic cup and says, "To Emily and Michael, the pride of our family." Everyone cheers, cups in the air, and I swear something just snaps. I don't remember deciding. My thumb just moves. I open the folder labeled tax stuff, hit the first audio file, and quietly drop my phone into the tote next to the speaker. For a second, nothing happens. Then loud and clear, over the backyard speakers that had been playing Taylor Swift 10 minutes earlier, we all hear my mom's voice. I am not having Lauren show up looking like a mess in front of Michael's family. She's the only one who didn't settle down. It's embarrassing. I swear, sometimes I think we failed with her. Time stops. Every conversation cuts off mid-word. Cups freeze halfway to mouths. You can practically hear brains rebooting. My mom's smile dies so fast it's almost funny. She looks around, confused, like the ceiling just insulted her. Emily's face goes pale. Before anyone can say anything, the next clip autoplays. If she starts talking about her clients again, I might scream. What clients? People on Instagram? At least Emily and Michael have real jobs. Someone gasps. I see Michael's mom, Karen Wilson, 55 years old, female, put a hand over her mouth. Michael's dad, Robert Wilson, 57 years old, male, stares down at his shoes like he wants to disappear. My dad just closes his eyes. My mom finally spots the sound coming from my tote bag. Her whole body tightens. She lunges for it so fast her plastic cup flies out of her hand, splashing red punch all over the white tablecloth and the diaper cake centerpiece. Pink punch drips down fake diapers like blood. I step in front of the bag, heart racing. Don't, I say, and my voice comes out way calmer than I feel. Turn it off, she shrieks, grabbing at the tote. Her nails dig into my wrist hard enough to make me yelp. People are actually backing away, forming a circle like this is a bar fight. The third clip starts. She's almost 32. This artsy lifestyle is cute for college, not for someone about to be an aunt. My mom loses it. She yanks the tote so hard the strap snaps, the speaker flies out, hits the ground, and rolls under the gift table. In her scramble to grab it, she slams into the table leg. The whole thing lurches. A stack of pastel-wrapped presents slides off, one of them tearing open, baby clothes spilling into the grass. Emily finally screams, "Mom, stop!" And all I can think, standing there with my wrist throbbing and the audio still playing from under the table, is, okay. Now they all get to hear what I heard. The fourth clip starts before anyone can find the speaker. My mom's voice again, sharper this time. Honestly, if Lauren didn't show up to the shower at all, it might be a blessing. She just sucks the energy out of every room. Someone mutters, "Oh my God," under their breath. I crouch, yank up the tablecloth, and there it is. The speaker, blinking like a bomb. I grab it, stand up, and just hold it. No one moves. My mom's whole face has gone blotchy red. Turn that off. Her voice is low and shaking, which is somehow scarier than the screaming. Behind me, another clip autoplays, this time Emily's voice. I love her, but she makes everything about her. I just want one day that's not Lauren being dramatic. It feels like getting punched right in the chest. I actually sway. Emily slaps a hand over her mouth. Lauren, I finally hit pause. Every eye is on me. My wrist still burns where my mom grabbed it. The gift table is skewed, wrapping paper ripped, red punch soaking into little baby onesies on the grass. I take a breath that doesn't really make it all the way in. That, I say, voice shaking but loud, is what you all say when you think I can't hear you. My mom lunges toward me again, reaching for the speaker. You are sick. You recorded me? At my own house? I yank it back. No, Diane. You recorded you, remember? Carter Clan? Real talk? You added me by accident. Karen Wilson actually flinches at the group chat name. Michael is staring at Emily like he's seeing her for the first time. My dad finally steps in between us, putting a hand on my mom's shoulder. Diane, enough. She shrugs him off so hard his plastic cup flies out of his hand and explodes against the patio, red punch splattering up his pant leg and onto the white wall. Don't you dare tell me enough when she is ruining your grandchild's shower. She points at me with a shaking finger. The acrylic nail is cracked down the middle. People start gathering their things. I hear chairs scraping, someone whispering, "We should go," like they walked into a live episode of Jerry Springer. I could have stopped. I really could have. But something in me was done being quiet. I unlock my phone, scroll, and hit one last clip. My voice is steady when I say, "Since we're being honest." My mom's voice blasts out, "Emily's already so emotional, I can't tell her the truth. If she ends up a single mom, I am not raising that baby. I did my time." The sound that comes out of Emily doesn't even sound human. She looks at our mom, then at me, then down at her shaking hands on her stomach. And then she picks up the nearest thing, the cute little mama-to-be sign I painted, and hurls it at the fence so hard it snaps in half. Update 2. So, yeah, I did not expect this to blow up like it has. I read a comment that said, "I hope the diaper cake wasn't the only thing that got wrecked," and I actually laughed for the first time since the shower. A lot of you asked what happened after Emily threw the mama-to-be sign, because that's where I ended. Short version. The baby shower went to hell in under 60 seconds. When the sign snapped against the fence, Emily just lost it. She started sobbing, that ugly gasping sob, and screaming at my mom, "You wouldn't help me if I was alone? You think my baby is a burden?" My mom immediately turned the waterworks on, full volume. "That is not what I said. You're twisting my words. Why would you do this to me, Lauren?" She actually staggered backward into a table of cupcakes and crushed like 6 of them with her hand. Frosting smeared all over her dress and she just left it there, crying harder like she was in a soap opera. Meanwhile, Karen and Robert were hustling around, apologizing to their relatives, whispering things like, "Maybe we should reschedule the gifts," while people grabbed their purses and dipped. One kid tripped over a toppled gift bag and started crying too. So we had 2 grown women and a toddler all sobbing at the same time under pastel balloons. My dad tried to calm my mom down and she shoved him. Not a gentle push either, full 2-handed shove to the chest. He stumbled into the drink table, knocked over the punch bowl, and it shattered on the patio. Red punch everywhere. On the white folding chairs, on my shoes, creeping toward the power strip for the fairy lights. Michael finally stepped in, put his arm around Emily and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "We're done. Shower's over. Everyone, thank you for coming, but please go." My mom whipped around and shrieked, "You're choosing her side? After what she did?" and pointed at me like she was about to put a curse on my head. I just said, "I didn't say anything you didn't already say, I just hit play." She came at me again, and this time Michael actually stepped between us. Karen grabbed my mom's arm so hard her bracelet snapped and beads went rolling all over the concrete. I left after that, took my frosting-stained tote, my cracked speaker, got in my car with punch drying on my ankles, and sobbed in the parking lot until the shaking stopped. Since then, my mom has called me 32 times, left 6 voicemails alternating between screaming, crying, and whispering about how I humiliated her in front of Michael's family and might have cost Emily her marriage. She also texted me a picture of the ruined mama-to-be sign like it was proof I'm a monster. Emily texted once, "I need space. I can't believe you did that today of all days." I haven't replied to either of them. Instead, I spent last night going through the rest of the chat history and let's just say I'm a graphic designer with a high-quality printer and a lot of rage. Some of you suggested scrapbooking the truth. You might have given me an idea. I didn't sleep the night after the shower. I just sat at my desk in my tiny apartment, blue light on my face, the Carter Clan Real Talk chat open on my laptop like an autopsy. It's wild how different it looks when you're not reading it on a phone. On a big screen, the pattern jumps out. The way my mom, Diane, warms up other people with compliments before she slices into me. The way Emily slides in with the "LOL, she's just like that" comments to keep the peace. My dad's little thumbs-up reactions to everything, like background noise. I started exporting screenshots, audio transcripts, dates, times, all of it. I pulled it into a layout file like I would for a client. Soft cream background, clean black font. On the cover, I wrote in a pretty script, "The Real Carter Family Scrapbook." Underneath, in smaller text, things we say when we think no one's listening. Every page got a theme. Lauren as a teenager. Lauren's career. Lauren at the baby shower, before she knew. I put the quote bubbles down like stickers, added tiny decorative flowers and baby rattles in the corners. It looked cute. That was the worst part. It looked like something you'd buy on Etsy. On the last page, I added a photo of the ruined mama-to-be sign. I'd fished out of my car, cracked down the middle. Under it, in small type, I wrote, "You broke the sign. You didn't break me." I printed 6 copies on my nicest cardstock and spiral bound them. The machine hummed and clicked while the sun came up. It felt like exercising something. One went in an envelope to Emily and Michael, one to my parents' house, one to Karen and Robert, one to my dad's office, 2 extras in case I thought of anyone else who should know the truth. I didn't sign my name, I didn't have to. By late afternoon, the storm hit. First was a string of texts from my mom I didn't open, just watched them stack up. Then my dad called once, twice, 3 times. No voicemail, just silence. That almost hurt more. Around 7, there was a pounding on my apartment door so hard my picture frames rattled. "Lauren, open the door," Emily's voice muffled but shaking. I cracked it with the chain still on. She was standing there in leggings and Michael's hoodie, hair in a messy bun, clutching the scrapbook to her chest. Her eyes were swollen like she'd been crying for hours. Michael was behind her, holding another copy, jaw tight. "What the hell is this?" she demanded, shoving the book up so I had to look at the cover. "The truth," I said. My voice came out small but steady. "You wanted space. I gave you context." Before she could answer, another set of footsteps thundered up the stairs. My mom rounded the corner, wild-eyed, mascara smeared, holding her copy of the scrapbook in shredded pieces. She looked straight at me like she could burn a hole through the door. "You think this is funny?" she screamed, flinging ripped pages into the hallway so they fluttered down around Emily's sneakers. "You mailed your lies to my friends? To your father's office? You are deranged, Lauren!" She shoved past Emily, grabbed the edge of my door, and yanked. The chain caught. The door snapped back, and the framed print hanging beside it crashed to the floor, glass exploding across my entryway. Somewhere down the hall, a neighbor yelled, "I'm calling the cops!" And my mom, standing in the middle of the chaos she created, pointed at me over the broken glass and said, "Good. Maybe they'll finally do something about you." I don't know if my neighbor actually called the cops. I get my answer about 3 minutes later when 2 officers walk up the stairwell and stop in front of my door, which is half hanging open on the chain, glass all over the floor, pages of my scrapbook scattered like confetti at a very cursed parade. "Ma'am, we got a noise complaint," one of them says, looking from me to Emily to Michael to my mom, who's still clutching shredded cardstock like evidence in a trial. Emily steps back immediately, one hand on her belly. Michael moves closer to her. My mom points at me. "She's harassing our family. She's stalking us. She sent lies to my husband's work." I actually laugh. It comes out sharp and a little hysterical. "They're your exact words, Diane, with timestamps." The older cop looks at the glass, then at my wrist, which is still faintly bruised from the shower. "Anyone hurt?" he asks. "My door is," I say, "and my wall art." Emily's eyes flick to my wrist, and I watch something shift in her face. She looks at my mom. "You grabbed her at the shower. You shoved Dad. You came over here screaming and broke her stuff. How is she harassing you?" My mom whips around. "You're pregnant and stressed. You don't know what you're saying." "I read the book, Mom," Emily snaps, holding up her copy like a weapon. Pages are dog-eared, underlined in pink highlighter. All of it. Years of you tearing her apart. You sounded proud. You sounded entertained. Michael finally speaks, voice low but deadly calm. "Officer, Lauren didn't send lies. She sent screenshots and transcripts from a chat my mother-in-law started. I've heard the original audio. It's her voice." The cop nods slowly. "Okay, this sounds like a family dispute, not a crime. But ma'am," he looks at my mom, "you can't show up at your daughter's home, damage her property, cause a disturbance, and expect nothing to happen. If she wants you trespassed, that's her right." My mom's head snaps toward me. For a second, I see real panic under the rage. "You wouldn't," she says. "It's not a question, it's a dare. For 31 years, I would have folded." "I don't want her arrested," I say, voice shaking but clear. "I just want her to leave, and I want it on record that she's not welcome here without my permission." The cop writes something down. My mom staggers back like I actually hit her. "After everything I've done for you," she whispers. "Yeah," I say quietly. "That's the problem. Everything you've done." Emily bends down carefully and starts picking up scrapbook pages from my floor. One lands face up near my foot, a quote bubble of her own voice saying, "I make everything about me." She stares at it, then at me. "I'm sorry," she says, and it's like the air shifts. "I was a coward. I let her make you the problem because it was easier than admitting she scares me too." My mom makes this wounded animal noise. "Emily, don't." Michael puts an arm around Emily's shoulders. "We're going low contact," he tells my mom flatly. At least until you get help, real help, therapy, anger management, something. You can't keep me from my grandchild. She shrieks so loud the cop winces. Emily's hand tightens on her belly. Watch me, she says. If you talk about my kid the way you talked about Lauren, you will never meet them. That breaks her. My mom slides down the hallway wall, right there among the ripped pages and glass, sobbing into her hands. It should make me feel powerful. It just makes me tired. The cops escort her downstairs. Michael follows to make sure she actually leaves. Emily stays, standing awkwardly in my wrecked doorway. Can I come in? She asks. I open the chain and let her. We step around the broken frame. It was a print of one of my own illustrations. A girl standing on a cliff, wind ripping at her dress. The glass is shattered, but the paper underneath is fine. Of all things, I mutter, picking it up carefully, brushing shards away. This survives. Emily sinks onto my couch, hugging the scrapbook. I don't know how to fix this, she says. With her, with you, with everything. You start by not pretending it didn't happen, I say. By not laughing when she makes me the punchline. By not letting her rewrite this as Lauren ruined the baby shower. She nods slowly, tears slipping down her cheeks. Will you still be the cool aunt who never grew up? She asks, voice breaking on the old joke. I sit beside her, leaving a careful inch between us. I'll be the aunt who shows your kid what boundaries look like, I say. If you let me. She leans her head on my shoulder. It's the first time she's touched me in weeks. Outside, I hear a car door slam, my mom's voice rising and fading as she argues with nobody in particular. Inside, my apartment is a mess. Glass, paper, a broken frame. I look at the cracked Mama-to-be sign propped against my wall, waiting to be repainted, and think, she wanted a perfect family picture. I gave everyone the real one. Sweetest revenge I've ever designed.